Hello, good evening.
Good evening, man.
Good evening. How are you?
All good, man. Top notch condition. How about you?
I'm not at my best today, but yeah, seemingly well. Right.
What the time, man?
I sprained my ankle, so I just ran up the stairs and I'm right now out of breath. So yeah, just I
Oh,
landed in the sprain, so it's a pretty bad one this time. Right. Sprain in the
is there
ankle,
intense?
in the
Is there
sprain.
intense cold?
Sorry.
Is there intense cold? Are you freezing out there?
There isn't, but previous in the previous week I was not feeling that well. I had caught cold and fever, so I just don't want to get sick. That's the reason why I'm wearing
Hmm.
a very very warm clothes. Otherwise, it's not that cold over here right now. I think the temperature is, I guess, 18 or 20.
18 or 20.
Hmm.
Okay.
Right, right. Yeah, it's 24 right now. Exactly. I just
24.
checked.
So it is normal.
Okay,
It is normal.
just normal. Yeah, yeah. But
Mhm.
still, I just don't want to get sick. Right.
Mhm.
So, how is the temperature over there in Surat?
Temperatures 28. So in my laptop, it is showing 28 degrees centigrade.
Okay, and I can see that you have also the fan on.
Yeah, yeah. Even we are running AC.
Really? At
Yeah,
28
yeah, yeah.
degrees. Okay, and in
28
summers,
degrees.
okay. And
Yeah,
in
in the
summers, what
afternoon.
is the maximum temperature that you get?
Maximum temperature.
Right, in
Actually,
summers.
summer, so it will be above, I think, 30 degree, 32 more or less, I think.
Okay,
Uh,
but it's humid, is it?
Moderate. We usually get moderate everything when it comes to
Oh,
winter, summer, and yeah, it's moderate.
okay. Then Delhi might not be habitable for you because the temperatures over here, in summers, it has touched almost 50 degrees as well over here. Almost.
Okay.
Right.
Recently, past summer was very scorching,
Hmm.
and I was in my native. And
Hmm.
I used to get a good ambience in my native. But this
Okay.
summer was very horrible, and I was not able to sleep. Sound I was not able to take sound sleep at that time.
Hmm.
That was horrible.
Right. Yeah, I recently went to Gwalior, so in MP. But
Mhm.
in that place also, like the temperatures were slightly higher as compared to Delhi.
Mm.
So
It was high all over the India. I guess this time.
this time, yes, yes. Okay, so yeah, today's topic, if we touch that, so it's often about our thinking abilities and sometimes how
Mhm.
we unnecessarily invite stress, right? So when it
Mhm.
comes to overthinking, so are you the kind of person who overthinks or who does not overthink?
Mm-mm. I got to know that in one day we are thinking. So we usually think 50,000. We are creating 50,000 thoughts
Oh.
in one day, and I
Hmm.
got to know. Yeah, so I do not think more, but I try to convert my negative thinking in positive thinking. If
Hmm.
I will keep on thinking negatively, so definitely I will drain my energy, and I
Hmm.
want to be able, I want to be able to perform productive in productive way.
Right.
So thought determine the action. I got to know thought determine the action.
Hmm.
So I pay full attention towards my thought,
Hmm.
and I'm not the actually. By and large, I can say that I'm positive thinker.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's good. That's good.
Mm, mm,
So let's take a glimpse at the mind of an overthinker. So if you please open the
mm,
session notes, there are some pointers which are given.
mm.
So what does an overthinker actually goes, or what kind of thoughts does an overthinker have? So these are just a few examples.
Plain sight. Should I read? Yeah.
Yes, please.
What if there is a mistake?
Hmm.
I need to go over it again to make sure everything is flawless.
Hmm.
I need to go over it again and to make sure everything is flawless. And
Right.
and what did they say that?
Hmm.
Do they like me? What did they mean by that comment?
What did they mean by that comment? Right.
Mhm. What if things go wrong in the future? Will I be able to handle it? What if I fail? I
Hmm.
can't stop thinking about it. Why can't I move on?
Hmm. Right. So are any of these thoughts relatable to you?
So I often think all this thing, but
Hmm.
I can manage myself and I can convert my futile thinking into productive thinking.
That's good. That's good.
This is the human nature, and we can think, but it is upon you, it is upon us that how long will I take this
Right.
thinking?
I think you put it very beautifully here that everyone experiences these kind of thoughts. But
Mhm.
if you don't let these thoughts overpower you, so it will not create stress. And if you try and take action towards overcoming this, so yes, definitely, we will not be in a state of anxiety there. Right. So please tell me, what is the difference between thinking and overthinking?
Thinking and overthinking.
Hmm.
So I think without thinking, there is no life, and you have to think
Hmm.
because thought determine the action and information, thought, action, destiny. This is the cycle. This is the cycle of life.
Right.
Uh, and so I think thinking, if your thinking is productive and fruitful,
Hmm.
so without shadow of a doubt, you'll be able to do productive work. Overthinking, you can overthink, but
Hmm.
you have to be more conscious about your thought that which kinds of thinking
Hmm.
you have. Is it negative or positive? If you are keep on thinking
If you
negatively,
all keep on,
so
or if you keep on?
if you are keep on thinking,
If you keep on thinking.
if you keep on thinking uh, negatively, so
Hmm.
you will be exhausted and
Hmm.
you will be running empty and you will be drained. And on the other hand, if your thinking is productive and fruitful,
Hmm.
so you will be able to motivate yourself, and you won't be exhausted, and you will be not running empty.
Hmm.
So overthinking, you can overthink, but you have to be more conscious of which kinds of thinking you have.
Right. Right. Okay. So there was this one word which you used over here. Can you please tell me how do you pronounce this?
Exhausted,
Exhausted. But while speaking, we were saying exhausted.
exhausted,
Exhausted.
exhausted.
Before I ask you further questions, can we please note down a few words which I would like you to use? Like you kept repeating and over here, right? You know very well what
Yeah.
the alternatives are, right?
Moreover,
Right.
I can
You're
use
connecting
more
to
of.
your laptop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll do one thing for you. I'm writing these words in the chat for you. Okay. So in
Hmm.
the meeting, you can access the chats, right? So the idea over here
Okay,
is
okay, okay, okay.
that you keep looking at these words so that you're able to use these. Okay.
Sure, 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 sure.
For addition, I am giving you this. For contrast, I want you to use these words.
Actually, all of these you have told earlier. You have told me
I
earlier.
know, but we are not able to put it into practice. That's the reason why I'm being emphatic about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the screen can adjust one more word here. So when you want to say undoubtedly, okay, so I would want you to use something like inarguably. Okay, just let's start with this word, okay, which is less commonly used.
In gar,
In, yeah,
what is
please.
this man? Ingargably,
No, inarguably.
inarguably.
Right. Like
Okay,
to argue something, when we
okay,
argue about something, so we have a question about something, right? So inarguably meaning without any question or without any argument.
ingar, okay, ingargably. Hey, it is
Not
hard
gar
to pronounce me.
no. So please practice. It's not inarguably, it's inarguably. Inarguably.
Inarguably,
Absolutely.
inarguably. Okay. Mhm.
Okay, right.
Got
I
it.
want to touch on this pronunciation part as well. Okay, so when you're
Mhm.
saying especially undoubtedly or inarguably, please emphasize it. Like, let's practice with one sentence, like the way you were telling about overthinking. So, can you try and use just one sentence about overthinking and use this word in undoubtedly or inarguably?
Mm, uh, undoubtedly, thinking processes are part of life,
Hmm.
and we cannot think life without thinking.
Okay.
And
Right. So, emphasize on this word undoubtedly. Undoubtedly, thinking is a part of life, right? Can you say it like this?
yeah. Undoubtedly, thinking is a part of life,
Hmm. Right.
and we cannot think life without. We cannot assume our life without thinking.
Hmm. Okay. Right. And write down like, please say inarguably as well, but this time with more focus and try to use it somewhere in between. So, thinking is a part of
Sure,
life,
sure.
undoubtedly. So, similarly,
Mm-hmm.
like this.
Inarguably.
Hmm.
Mm. Okay. Mm, I believe you are not what you think you are. What you think you are, and inarguably, uh, it is essential to
Mhm.
think positively.
Right.
Otherwise, mm, we won't get anything. And I believe mm, negative thinker have want power, and positive thinker have willpower
Hmm. Okay.
to solve
So,
the problem.
negative thinker have or negative thinker has? What will come?
Negative thinker has want power.
Right, right. So good. Okay. So you can easily find these words useful in the next question. So keep looking at these. Have the chat open. I
Okay.
think all these
Mhm.
words are visible to you at the same time, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
I can see.
Right. So when was the last time you found yourself overthinking any particular decision?
I do overthinking when there is any kind of fuss and chaos,
Hmm.
and mm, if I'm not able to handle the situation
Hmm.
uh, according to my willpower,
Hmm.
and it was not up to the work, and I was not best at my work, so
Hmm.
I do overthinking,
I
and
agree with
but
thinking.
yeah, but however, after some time, um, I think wisely, and I just brainstorm why it happened, and I try to convert. my thinking in fruitful way.
Okay. So I think when you were talking about the past, you were using some of the sentences in present tense. Like after some time, I think wisely. So it's an event in the past, right? So I thought wisely, and then I tried to
Okay.
convert. Right. So please
Okay.
remember
Okay.
to
Okay.
change the verbs in past when
Mhm.
you're. So the next question also is related to the past. So remember to change the verbs accordingly. Okay. Right. So
Mhm.
can you recall a time when overthinking prevented you from taking action?
Overthinking prevented me.
From
For
taking
what?
action. From taking an action.
Mm, I believe if I will think, then I will be able to do action. Then I
Hmm.
will be able to perform.
Right.
And however, mm, I cannot say that overthinking had impacted my work.
Hmm.
But whenever I do, whenever I have thought immensely, so at that time I was able to perform well, and it never disturbed my work.
Hmm. Okay. Right. So it never did. So there has never been a time that you never took
Mhm.
action. You always took action.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. So do you think our childhood experiences, like criticism or something that put us down, being belittled by someone, so these kind of instances have an impact on whether or not we become overthinkers?
So many things happened in my childhood. Like I'm unable to recall, but which kinds of instance I should put
Hmm.
related to overthinking,
No, child, like being criticized or being
being
belittled by.
criticized.
Right. So these
Oh,
kind of instances, they shape our thinking pattern, and sometimes we end up developing an overthinking pattern because of these issues.
actually, I used to bite the bullet because I was thin in my childhood, and
Okay.
everybody, everybody were telling that why are you not gaining the weight? And so at that time, I was little bit worried
Hmm.
about my health, and I was paying more attention towards my health,
Hmm.
and so this was the thinking process at that time. But after some time, I was able to put on my weight,
Hmm.
and I was able to get rid of this
Hmm.
comment. And after some time, I get bulging stomach.
Sorry, I had.
I had bulging stomach.
Okay.
No, now I'm not thinking about childhood. I didn't have a bulging stomach, but when I got married
Hmm.
and I was able to get food on time, and so then I had become obese. And so now my thinking process has been changed. Actually, now I have started how to get rid of my bulging stomach.
Okay.
So in my childhood, I used to think why I'm thin, and actually I had less height.
Hmm.
I was shorter in
Hmm.
height,
Okay.
and so I used to face such types of problem. But I did a lot to gain my height,
Hmm.
and now it is quite good. Not I'm not. I have medium height.
Okay.
So these were the problems in my
Okay.
childhood.
Hmm.
And but inarguably, I was good at my study,
Hmm.
and so I used to get good mark in my class, and
Hmm.
I used to be monitor in my class,
Hmm.
and I can recall one memory that after finishing my eighth class, and I got selected one of the best schools in my city,
Hmm.
and so that moment was like I was over the moon,
Hmm.
and this was the enchanting moment. And but in terms of height, in terms of health, I was little bit worried at the
Okay. Right. So I think the physical appearance kind of lowered your confidence.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes,
Right.
yes, yes.
So did people try to make you feel complex about it, or was it something that these were the ideas that you developed on your own?
No, they were making fun of me, and they were making comments.
Hmm.
And you should develop, you should gain your weight,
Okay.
and you should have a height. And
Hmm.
why I was shorter in terms of height because my parents were having average height.
Hmm.
And so this was the inheritance I
Right.
had that at that time. This was not my fault, I would say.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, so according to our parents, I was, and but if you don't have medium height, so that definitely undoubtedly you will be considered as a what we call in English Bona.
Hmm.
Uh,
That is called as dwarf.
dwarf.
Dwarf. Right.
Okay,
DWARF. Dwarf.
okay, okay. So this was a little
I
bit.
don't think that you should be thinking like that, and especially if it's something that is in the genes. So,
Because why I had such type of thinking? Because our colleague, our fellows were heighted at the time,
hmm,
uh, and I was shorter
hmm,
among them. This was and this was the answer issue in that
okay,
time.
right. So, yeah, I think the society somewhere makes us feel complex about some issues, right? Uh, right.
And
So,
I was like immature, so I used to think a lot.
right,
Because now now I have become mature, and now I got to know about life that your color, your height, and your physical appearance doesn't matter. Your
absolutely,
skill, your ability, and how you are handling the situation, and
right,
how you are demonstrating yourself, that
right,
matters.
right.
And I think, and you might have seen Abdul Kalam Azad and Pranav Mukherjee,
They
Pranav
were
Das,
very heighted,
and,
yes, yes.
and they were having a less height. They
Hmm,
were shorter. I think they were having less. I think they were not having medium height.
hmm,
And having said that, they did splendid work, and they did tremendous work, and for the country. So, by and large, caste, creed, color, height, and your physical appearance doesn't matter.
right, right. So, all the thoughts they were connected well. Okay, you were also you being emphatic when you did inarguably use inarguably and undoubtedly in your sentences. There was this one sentence, like when you were telling about your experiences with the others, you said that everybody were telling me that why are you not putting weight. So in this one, like actually, if you know, look at it, so it should be first of all, everybody was telling me. Okay, because with
Everybody
everybody,
was, yes, similar, yeah.
but even if we are using everybody was telling me, it should be everybody used to tell me. Can you please tell me
Used to
why?
tell me.
Like why
Yeah,
everybody was
because yeah,
correct,
this was the repeated action in the past.
right?
So definitely we should use used to instead
Right,
of they were telling, yeah.
right. Either
So
you can use
is it
used to, and you can also use
incorrect,
would.
Sanjay?
This is, see, everybody were telling me this is incorrect, so everybody was telling me is the grammatically correct one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
usage wise it would be incorrect because you're telling about a past habit that people
Yeah.
had about you, right?
Hmm.
So it should be everybody used to tell me or everybody would tell me. You can also use would when you want to tell
Good.
about
Yeah,
past
yeah.
habits. Okay,
Makes sense. Yeah.
right. So yeah, the when it comes to pronunciation, I think I did some practice related to stress or intonation with you. Have I or have I not?
Uh, uh, I'm unable to recall.
Okay. If we happen to have a reading passage in the next class, I would definitely like to focus on chunking language, especially that can be developed through means of reading, and eventually it will start reflecting in your speaking. Okay. So, the idea of using chunking language is that you pronounce a group of words together. So, your speech somewhere becomes very relaxed and it sounds very native. Okay, so this native influence that we are having, so I'm not saying that you have a very large native influence, but we do have an Indian accent, right?
So is it
So,
like tongue twister?
not tongue twister, it's like pronouncing a group of words together, be it whatever thoughts you're saying. So in a sentence you
Okay.
don't pronounce each and every word. Somewhere we are doing that kind of practice. Okay, so I can better explain it with the means of some reading passage, and then you can later follow that activity up and whenever you read
Okay.
a book or something. Okay, right. So, yeah, when it comes to grammar mistakes, past tense is one area where we need to focus a little, right? And I'm happy with at least one or two words that you used over here, right? But try to get comfortable with these words, please. Okay, right.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Take
Okay,
care.
man. Thank you for being here. I will catch you later.
Yeah, yeah. Bye.
Bye. Bye.